What is going on, everybody? It's time for the Survivor Series 2015 review. I'm excited. We're all excited because Justin made up a word in the other review called flippity dippity dippity. So Case is excited because as much as he loves his flippity dippity, you add an extra dippity, and we in business. So, but let's jump in the Survivor Series. We started out with a traditional Survivor Series match on the pre-show. We had The Miz, Bo Dallas, Stardust, and The Ascension versus Neville, the Dudleys, Titus O'Neil, Goldust, who's making his return. He was kind of a surprise. This was I think I always have an NXT superstar is going to debut moment in every pay per view. This was my NXT superstar is going to debut moment for this pay per view because I just knew someone was going to debut, and someone did. Didn't come from NXT. It was Goldust, and technically it wasn't a debut; it was a return. You know. Anyway, Goldust, he's back. I don't know how to do it, so I'm gonna stop. All right. This match was not terrible. I don't think. It was kind of that typical pre-show match, but it wasn't anything. There wasn't anything great to it. Uh, Stardust ends up getting hit with the 3D. They end up trying to be the sole survivor, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen, Stardust. So the Dudleys, Bo Dallas, Miz, no, wrong side. Neville, all right. The Dudleys, Titus O'Neil, and Goldust are the sole survivors. Neville was the only one to get to end up getting eliminated, which is unfortunate. Any thoughts on this match before I get tongue tied anymore?
I don't know. You'll get a lot more tongue tied. So, um, Victor did this weird Stardust crawl thing during the entrance that he should just never ever do again, ever, because it made me sad a little bit in my heart. Um, and also, being that this was a traditional Survivor Series elimination match, I felt like this should have been on the actual show, not the kickoff show. Um, it didn't make sense that it wasn't on the actual show, being Survivor Series traditional. What are you doing? What are you being? But yeah, this wasn't a horrible match. It's just like TJ said, kind of felt really thrown together. Um, it didn't seem like uh, most of the time except for tonight, in past Survivor Series matches, there's always storylines behind the teams. There's always this team is going up against this team, and there's history behind it. The two matches tonight that were the elimination matches felt just really thrown together, and kind of ruined the show a little bit for me. Just the fact that this entire week I've been watching almost all of the Survivor Series from I started from 1990 and I got to 97. Just the fact that all those had multiple Survivor Series elimination matches on the show. They weren't all just thrown together at the last minute. It just feels like WWE doesn't care about their big shows anymore, which is unfortunate. Um, but I mean, I guess when you get to the point that WWE's at, when you're so big that you don't have to care about yourself, depression kicks in, you get suicidal. And WWE, if you need to talk, I'm here. You need to care about yourself so we can care about you. Sorry, that got weird. But yeah, this wasn't a horrible match. Like I said, it just felt really thrown together. Um, it should have been on the main show. I think they need to get rid of these pre-show matches and just make the show longer. I mean, instead of 2 hours or 3 hours, make it a 4-hour show and completely take away the pre-show, because the pre-show you don't, except for some updates on Seth Rollins And there's nothing else on there really that's of importance, at least to me. Just put the pre-show match on the regular show, and there's nothing different. But thoughts? I can't hear you.
Um, I, yeah, I agree with that. I feel like that would be cool. I don't know if they should make it 4 hours. Um, but
Six
yeah, the
hours,
pre-show
right?
7 hours. The pre-show doesn't really do too much for me, just because all they do is show the video packages that we're gonna see in the show. And they're like, who are you gonna pick, Booker? And Booker's like, I don't know, Renee. I'm gonna pick Chicky Bang Bang. He just says random stuff. So I don't really
Chucky
know.
Ducky Quack Quack.
Yeah, Chucky Ducky. Um, but let's continue. We had a video package on to start the show on Undertaker in the tournament. It's a pretty cool little video package that about Undertaker, kind of showing the history, but we've been seeing it pretty much all week. And then the tournament, I mean, nothing terribly important from the tournament, just kind of, who's in the final four and whatnot. We saw it tonight with Roman Reigns versus Alberto Del Rio. Um, Alberto Del Rio started out by attacking the arm, attacking the shoulder. Reigns would take control, though, try to go for a Superman punch. It got reversed into the backstabber. Super kick by Del Rio gets reversed into a Samoan drop throw thing. Um, he tried to go for that double foot stomp from the Tree of Woe, but it gets reversed. And Del Rio immediately starts to sell the knee. Superman punch to Del Rio. Spear attempted by Roman Reigns gets reversed with a super kick, which looked really good by Del Rio. Really cool false finish there. Cross armbreaker gets reversed into a roll up that's transitioned to a sit out powerbomb for two by Reigns. Armbreaker by Reigns. Reigns tries to fight out of it, but Reigns uses the ropes to break it up. That didn't make any sense the way I wrote it, but that's okay. Del Rio tries to go up top, but Reigns rolls out of the way, hits a spear for the win. Good match, liked it. Definitely liked this match. I thought it was going to be good going in, so I wasn't dissatisfied. Casey, thoughts?
You were entertained.
Yes, I was entertained,
All
Seamus. So no need to worry.
right. First off, with the opening promo, it was really good, but I felt like it was a classic case where WWE makes an awesome video package that feels bigger and more epic than the actual show. Which I feel like anymore that's a lot what WWE does. They, focus more on the video packages and, build up to, the show, and then the actual show is like, oh, okay. That was cool. But I like that we started off with the semifinal matches both in a row. It gives them time to kind of rest a little bit to the finals. This wasn't as boring of a match as I thought it was going to be. Seeing that Roman Reigns was in the match, I thought it was going to be a snore fest, but the brilliance of WWE, they booked Del Rio in this match to kind of carry the match a little bit. It's not me, it's other people that think that Roman Reigns is boring and that the Superman punch is ineffective and that the only reason he is where he is because he's related to The Rock, Yokozuna, Rikishi. The list goes on, But Del Rio definitely carried the match, and the winner was Roman Reigns. So but I completely support Roman Reigns. Don't let that get confused. Go Reigns. I can't wait for when he actually wins the title and we get all these stupid Roman Reigns and the Roman Empire and
The Roman Reigns.
Crap. Anyway,
All right. Let's continue. We'll get an interview with Roman Reigns. Dean with
You're out again.
hello.
Okay.
All right. We'll get an interview with Roman Reigns. Dean would come up, and Reigns would say they would meet in the finals, and they would talk about how it was best friends, fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship. Kevin Owens would then show up, and he would say, talk about, how it's not going to happen. Tonight's the Kevin Owens show. Then Reigns would end the interview with talking about how Kevin Owens just runs his mouth and he's going to get beat up and whatnot. Any thoughts on that interview at all?
No, I just can't believe you didn't mention anything about your girl JoJo. I mean, I was expecting at least like a 5 minute, rant on how JoJo's your girl, and how you text her mom all the time, and you tweet her mom, and you and her mom have dinner, and she's your girl, and you're gonna. I don't. Anyway.
I mean, she is my girl, but bragging it's not nice. So I was gonna save it for another video.
Okay. I like the interviews tonight. They weren't too long. They were to the point. Uh, kind of built up more of Kevin Owens kind of heel. Even though we were pretty sure we knew who was gonna win both of the matches. Seeing that um, Alberto Del Rio is the Mexican American champion, formerly the U.S. champion. And Kevin Owens is the Intercontinental champion, and 9 times out of 10, unless you're Seth Rollins or John Cena, they won't let you carry multiple titles. Even though they used to back in the '90s and early 2000s, that people did it all the time. But no, you can only have one title at a time in WWE now. Doesn't matter who you are. I mean, unless you're John Cena or Seth Rollins, of course. But um, I like the I think it was like 2 interviews tonight. Seth Rollins or not Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. They were. I'm. You know what? I saw him. He after the surgery. He was getting ready. He was rehabbing, and I just he in my head now, and he's gonna rebuild. And anyway.
Alrighty. Next we got Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens. I'm gonna let you take this match.
All right. Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens, the highlights of the semifinals. The other match had Roman Reigns in it, so you know how those go. But I'm sorry to Roman Reigns fans. This doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. It's nothing. Anyway, the fisherman suplex off the top rope by Owens on Ambrose was awesome. I was surprised that Ambrose won. This was a really good match. But for some reason I didn't think that WWE would do Ambrose versus Reigns for some reason. In this match, I felt like they were really kind of building on Kevin Owens. They seem to like him, even though I've read some things where I guess Vince doesn't like him because he's fat. I heard that. I don't know, but Ambrose wins. I was pretty sure there was going to be a heel turn later on in the night. Not a dance move heel turn, but like a good guy bad guy turn, that kind of heel turn. But we will get to that later on. But really good match. I felt like it could have been a little bit better. I felt like they kind of it wasn't as high speed and high impact as I expected from a Dean Ambrose Kevin Owens match. But at the same time, you have to think ring psychology wise, they're in the semifinals of a World Heavyweight Tournament, they don't want to, make any mistakes and, lose the match. So obviously they would, kind of have more mat-based wrestling, kind of wearing each other down. So it makes sense. I was just, waiting for the suicide dives and the, craziness, the Ring of Honor type stuff, but we didn't get that because it's WWE. So there will be no super kicks because super kicks don't exist in WWE. They're big kicks. That's what they are. They're powerful side kicks or whatever you want to call them. But sorry, I had a little rant there, mini rant on. It was a freaking super kick, and they called it like a big side. I don't know what they called it, but they didn't call it a super kick.
I think there was a point in this match where I went super kick. I think I can't remember. It was one of the matches tonight. I was like, ah! I remember it vividly. I just don't remember what match it was. But yeah, this match was good. Loved it. I kind of would like to see more from these two. Maybe in the near future or something. The moonsault that Kevin Owens ended up taking after Ambrose moved out of the way. Ow. It hurt a little bit. The transitions at the end of the match that ended up leading to the Dirty Deeds for the win. Really good stuff there. This match was good. Liked it. Really hoping for some future stuff between these guys. Next, we got our second and final traditional Survivor Series tag team matchup. We got Ryback, the Lucha Dragons, and the Usos going up against the New Day, Sheamus and King Barrett. Sheamus says something about getting jiggy, and no. That was about as off limits as someone trying to touch Xavier Woods' hair tonight, because it was glorious. It was one of a kind, I guess you could say. Usos were doing their thing, and the DDT that was reversed, the DDT of Kofi that was reversed by Sin Cara into a Northern Lights. Beautiful, good work by Sin Cara there. There was not a lot of Kalisto, I didn't feel like, in this match. I felt like that it was very Usos heavy, I think. From what I remember, I'm pretty sure it was. It seemed like it was really Usos heavy. There wasn't a lot of Sin Cara or Kalisto for some reason. I don't know why I felt that way, but it did. Barrett got eliminated first for some reason. I don't know what it is about Barrett and Neville, but they got eliminated first in their respective matches. So, I guess they're just made for the pre-show, I tell you. I forgot who ended up getting eliminated because I didn't write it down. For shame. The New Day ended up leaving Sheamus there at the end. He ends up trying to fight back, but it's not happening. Meat Hook gets reversed. The roll up by Sheamus, but only for two. Gets hit with a super kick. Gets hit with some diving moves by Lucha Dragons, and then the shell shock for the win. I wonder if they're gonna. Well, never mind. I just thought about the end of this pay per view. This was a okay traditional Survivor Series match. The only thing I didn't like about it was kind of like what Casey was saying earlier. There was no build to it. I felt like before that's what made Survivor Series important, was that there was some kind of storyline behind it. You had Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. This was just kind of team random versus team other random. So Casey, any thoughts on this match?
Yeah, the Usos and the Lucha Dragons doing the dual dives. The dives themselves weren't that impressive because two 30-year-old men cannot do something that a 50-year-old man can do. But the fact that all four of them did it together at the same time was pretty cool. And then Ryback doing anything off the top rope, just like JBL said, he had the flight pattern of a falling sofa. It just he didn't even like jump forward. He just kind of fell forward and happened to land on everybody. It was bad. Just whoever no no no. Um, the only thing one of the things that I didn't like was that I felt like they should have had the Dudleys on this match in replace of the Lucha Dragons. I felt like it would have made more sense with the New Day. Um, seeing as they still sort of have a feud going on with the tag team titles. Um, and it would have been their kind of big return to Survivor Series. Even though they've already had their big return to WWE, it would have been their big return to a big pay-per-view on WWE. But you know, again, I I have to say, and I think it was just because it was thrown together. At least to me, this match didn't seem like a traditional Survivor Series match. It just seemed like a kind of a glorified 10-man tag team match. Nothing about it seemed really exciting to me. Um, and I don't know if anyone else noticed, but why was the New Day not counted out? Technically, this match is still going on because they were not counted out. That this, so technically, I feel like they won. Um, I don't want them to win, but I feel like they won technically, because WWE doesn't pay attention to their storylines and ever. But I don't know if anyone else noticed that. Um, but that was just weird to me that they didn't count them out at all. Because they just left. One, two. There was like a 37 count at least. And it's a 10 count, so you get counted out. They were at 37, if not more. I'm just saying. WWE, come on now.
I agree. I don't remember the count out either. Biggie got eliminated. They were like, you know what? I'm gonna see y'all guys later. They were not having competing without Big E. If we got a video package on Charlotte and Paige, I like the video package just because it kind of gave me some insight on this feud. Just because I haven't really been able to watch Raw recently, so I don't know a ton about this feud. I just know it's happening. So, do you have any thoughts on that? I didn't know if I wanted to ask about it or not because it's.
Uh, I mean, it was a good video package. They didn't mention anything about the whole how they brought up Reed Flair on Raw and all that, which is I feel like if you're not going to include that in the video package as a build up to the match, then what was the point of doing that on Raw? You could have just like I've been saying, just had it about the Divas title. That could have been just enough build up, and have them having just naturally organic match. You don't need to have these forced feuds and forced storylines that WWE always does, especially with Divas matches. Every time, it doesn't matter who it is, it just sucks, and that's why they're trying to force this Divas Revolution, which could happen if you just let it happen, and WWE doesn't do that.
I think it did kind of help me personally because I feel like Paige has done a good job as a heel. It seemed like even with the stuff that was said in the video package, it seemed like she was really building herself pretty well. So this match was aggressive though. It had a different feel to it, which was nice. It was a really aggressive match. The everything about it was just really good. The electric chair facebuster on the apron, ow. Poor Paige in her face. Charlotte with the using the apron to keep the pressure on. It was a good little add in there. I like that. Um, but Charlotte ends up winning with the figure eight. And this match, it was just good. It just really was. I was expecting it to be good. I don't know if I was expecting this to be this good, just because it's, I guess it's been a while since we have had a really good Divas match on the main roster. So, I, but I mean, it was really good. For some, I don't like the way, and I get it, like leverage and whatnot, but I don't really like them trying to downplay the effectiveness of the figure four by Charlotte using the figure eight. It just feels like it's getting downplayed a lot, um, just for some reason. Any thoughts on this match though?
Um, yeah, it was a great match. It just showed again that Paige and Charlotte can put on great matches without forcing a storyline. Um, I agree with the figure four, figure eight. Bridging literally does nothing to that move. It's nothing. They try to build it that if you when she bridges it puts more pressure. No, it doesn't. It's kind of like this. It does nothing. It's all aesthetics. This does nothing. Doing it, it's nothing, nothing at all. Um, and I don't understand why they're trying to build that up to. Again, it's making the figure four seem weak. Um, we've talked about this in past videos on how you know uh, Matt or moves that used to be really effective, like the DDT, like the figure four, like the sharpshooter. Now, you do those moves in matches, and it does nothing because WWE is built up, that it has to be a bigger, better move. It has to be this, that, and simple moves anymore are just becoming extinct, and they're doing this now to the figure four by doing this stupid figure eight that does nothing at all, um, which is unfortunate. It's not. We're not doing anything to the classic professional wrestling that was effective as it was, but I just don't think they should build up the figure eight as much as they do. I mean, granted, it's giving a little bit more uniqueness to Paige or not Paige Charlotte. Um, kind of the same as what they should have done with Natalia. I feel like she did the sharpshooter, which kind of it was too close to Bret Hart being her uncle, so I feel like she never really got out of that shadow, which I feel like is what they're trying to do with Charlotte. But at the same time, you don't want to make the figure four look weak, because then if Ric Flair does a figure four, if he ever comes on a show as a guest, it's gonna look weak next to the figure eight, which is not gonna look good. Because Flair, he can come back whenever he wants. He can just
But can he do a figure four? That's the question. I mean, he maybe can, knee his jacket still, but can he do a figure four? That's my
he can
question.
do a figure four. If he can elbow drop his jacket for no apparent reason, the man can do a figure.
Alrighty, let's continue. We got an interview with Ambrose that happened earlier in the night. This was also with my girl, JoJo, who I love, who I'm in love with, who I'm gonna marry, who
Oh,
um
now she's your girl. I pointed out earlier. You see that, JoJo? You see that?
um she's mine, so back off. Anyway, we got an interview with Ambrose. He says, we knew it was gonna come to this. Tonight, I'm gonna fight my brother, maybe his blood brother, according to Michael Cole. He's gonna fight his brother, and tonight it's about the championship. So, you know, it's the championship fight, so they're gonna bring it. And Reigns comes up, and they kind of talk a little bit, and they're like, basically says, "So will I." I'm gonna bring it as well. So, it's gonna be a good match. I was expecting for it to be a good match. Um, I don't know if the interview added anything to it. Hey, they're friends. Yay, they're going
Uh,
at it. Yay.
You
You know,
know, they may not be actual blood brothers,
bread
but
brothers.
yeah, blood brothers,
All right,
uh,
Michael Cole.
and Terminate. They may not actually be blood brothers, but myself, Dean Ambrose, and Sonny, throwback to old school WWF, all have the same birthday. So there's that. Anyone's keeping track, we all have the same birthday, so you can all give us presents on the same day. If you want, you can tweet me. I'll send you. I don't want a Superman punch that does nothing. I don't want that. Just thought that I would throw that out there. If you want to send us any gifts, we'll all take some. I think we will. But you know, yeah, they're not blood brothers. Kind of like Kane and Undertaker are not actual brothers. That's been established in previous WWF storylines, but they still try to bring it back as they are. But again, the continuity of WWE, they forget things that they've done in the past, and they're like, okay, let's do this again, and
well,
anyway.
well, yeah, they do because Vince McMahon he died a long time ago, right? Remember that? He
Yeah.
died. He's still alive, and now I'm confused. His car exploded, darn it. But next we got kind of a surprise match on the show. We had Tyler Breeze going up against Dolph Ziggler. WWE, first off, for shame on you, because they didn't have the live, video cam feed on the Titantron, and I was a little upset. It just said Tyler Breeze. I was like, they're trying to make this man generic. That is not what we do. Come on, WWE. What are you doing? What are you doing? But this match was really good as well. Obviously, I think you came in knowing this match was going to be good, especially with the talent of Tyler Breeze and Dolph Ziggler. Um, I love how Breeze locked in the half Boston Crab. You don't see that submission a lot, so it was nice to see. Breeze got caught with a drop kick off the dive, looked really good. These two, man, I tell you. The famouser at the end got reversed, but Ziggler tries to reverse.
I can't hear you. You just went out.
Wait, what? Wait, they trying to keep me down. They trying
There
to
you
keep me
go.
down,
There
darn
you
it.
go.
They
There
trying to keep me
you go.
down. The famouser at the end of the match got reversed, but Ziggler reversed that reversal into a sunset flip bomb for two. Looked a whole lot better than seeing cars from earlier. It just did. It was great. And then Breeze catches Dolph with a kick to the knee, and then he gets the unprettier for the win by Breeze, and I loved it. I thought it looked really good. Everything in this match was really good. I hope they keep this going. I think this feud is it's a really good feud, and they could really put on some really good matches, especially if they let them go all out. Any thoughts on Tyler Breeze versus Dolph Ziggler?
Uh, really good match. I had forgot that this match was gonna be on the show, so I was excited. Um, I I just hope they, like you said, keep this feud going. I feel like there's a lot that they could do with this. They're sort of in a way similar characters. You know, I, and I feel like Dolph Ziggler could do little things that could keep this feud going. Um, like when just the little things that he did when Tyler Breeze debuted. He said something about you millennials, just little things like that. Being that he's a veteran, he's been in WWE for going on 10 plus years now. So he can kind of do the veteran kind of trying to teach a young guy a lesson, type of thing. Um, you know, uh, even it kind of helped a little bit. The Twitter comment that they brought up, how he said, you know, how um, Dolph Ziggler tweeted out earlier that I used to be like you, blah blah blah. They could bring that into a storyline. There's a lot of things they could do with this, and they could put on really good matches, which you don't always get two guys that can put on such good matches together. So I think they need to kind of keep this going and kind of exploit that, and get a couple more big pay-per-view matches out of it. I think they could definitely do something at TLC, which would be cool. But good match. I'm just excited to see what they do with this from here. Um,
Agreed. Let's continue. We had a video package on Undertaker and Wyatt. From what I saw, it looked like it was a really good video package, like always with Bray Wyatt and his video packages. And then we had the Wyatt family versus the Brothers of Destruction. I'm gonna give you this match too.
boy, you be giving me everything, boy. It's like my birthday early. Which again, December 7th, me, Dean Ambrose, Sonny, Aaron Carter. Also, if you're a '90s pop fan, we all have the same birthday. You can buy us stuff. If you're looking for clothing for me, my shirt size is a medium. Um, for jackets and hoodies, usually I take a small because they're usually pretty big. But anyway, sorry, got a little off track there. But anyway, we got the Undertaker and Kane. The Undertaker's 25th anniversary at Survivor Series. He debuted at Survivor Series, if you didn't know, 25 years ago. And this is, I guess, Kane's 18 years. So they mentioned that too. I liked how they mentioned that as well. It wasn't just, completely ignoring the fact that Kane was there, um, versus the Wyatt family. We weren't sure who uh, Bray Wyatt was going to pick to go up against the Brothers of Destruction. They throw Rowan in there. Rowan should have just never come back to the Wyatt family. They just threw him to the dogs. He got destroyed, and we haven't seen him since. So maybe he went to the back. He rethought his decision. He's gonna stay away from the Wyatt family. They don't care about him. They just threw him into the dogs. They don't care. But anyway, I did like the how the Titantron kind of showed all the incarnations of Undertaker from his debut up to now. That was pretty cool. Um, from the opening bell, I felt like this was booked wrong. I felt like they should have. I felt like they should have had either Harper and Strowman in there against Taker and Kane, or they should have had it as a handicap match. I feel like they definitely, if they did it as a handicap match, it would have made, Kane and Taker seem that much stronger, which is kind of what they were trying to do in this match. Obviously, they didn't want, they wanted Taker to win because it's his 25-year anniversary. But they did fix it where they had Wyatt. They saved Wyatt still by having Taker pin Harper instead of Wyatt because they had Wyatt and Harper in there. That was a smart decision. I feel like it saved Taker and it saved Wyatt, so neither of them technically lost. Um, I'm kind of interested to see where they go with this from here. Because still Wyatt technically didn't win, so he can't. He's not. He didn't take over as the new face of fear, which is what he's in the storyline trying to do. And it feels like, except for WrestleMania, it feels like this is the last kind of uh match we're gonna have from Taker, even though he's looked really good in the past two matches that he's had, as opposed to his last couple WrestleMania matches where he kind of didn't look too good. He didn't look healthy. He kind of looked weak. But the past two matches that he's had, he's looked really strong. He looked like the old Undertaker that we remember, which kind of makes me think he could have another run, possibly. I don't know if he wants to. He is getting up in the age. He is 50 now, so maybe he doesn't want to do that, but feels like he could. So I'm excited to see what they do with this from now. What they're deciding to do with possible WrestleMania 32. Since obviously I've heard they're kind of throwing away the idea of Sting. So I don't know what's going on with that. Um, but what are your thoughts on 25 years of the dead man?
25 years of Taker being dead. It's amazing, man. It's like it feels like yesterday when he died. No, this match I liked it. I definitely liked it. I was surprised that Bray actually was in the match. Um, but he didn't get pinned, so he's still the new face of fear, technically, I guess. Um, when Taker tried to do the old school and and Harper reversed it, the crowd was not happy at all. Um, and then at the end of the match with the double sit up thing, that was really cool. It was kind of just cool to see the Brothers of Destruction together again. The dueling choke slams, and then the tombstone on Harper for the win by Undertaker and Kane. It was just this match was really cool. It kind of brought back some old memories of Undertaker and Kane, I guess you could say. Um, it's crazy to think Undertaker's been doing this for 25 years. Um, but I definitely I think this match was really good. I wonder if they're gonna. I doubt they're gonna continue with this, but I wonder what they're gonna do with Bray Wyatt because they just kind of throw him around. So I'm kind of interested in that as well.
See,
Next we had
the thing
Roman.
with me, I just said I wanted to add another point to that is they're building this up as Taker 25 years as the Undertaker. The thing that makes it even more kind of impressive that he's still competing to this day is even before he was Undertaker, he had a couple different gimmicks in the WWF before he debuted as Taker. So he's been in the WWF or WWE now competing for over 25 years, which is just amazing if you think about it. Um, and I actually watched a couple matches featuring Kane and Undertaker before they were Kane and Undertaker, which is kind of cool seeing them in matches together before they were Kane and Undertaker. Before they died, technically. Kane was Isaac Yankem before he died, and Taker was a couple different characters.
Alrighty, we got one more match, the main event of the evening, which I was excited for. I kind of wanted to see how this would play out, but I mean, I think we all kind of went in thinking that Roman Reigns was gonna win, and he did. This match was, it was pretty good. I didn't think this match was as good as I thought, as I was expecting it to be. I just thought the chemistry was going to be a lot better between these two, and it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. But Reigns did end up winning as Ambrose tried to run off of the try to pop over the corner, and he got met with a spear, and that was kind of surprising to me. Uh, I just wasn't expecting Reigns to win at that point. I thought Ambrose was going to kick out, and there was going to be some other stuff going on in the match before then. But Reigns does end up being the WWE World Heavyweight Champion for what, like 8 minutes or something, because Triple H comes out to congratulate him, tries to extend the hand. Reigns, he's thinking about walking away, but turns back around, spears Triple H, turns around again to leave the ring, gets hit with a bro kick, and Sheamus cashes in officially, and Roman Reigns does try to come back, but bro kick by Sheamus to win. as Sheamus then celebrates with Triple H, maybe the new authority champion, I guess you could say. I One thing that confused me about the cash in though was Sheamus was pinning him as soon as the bell rang, and I didn't think you could do that. I thought they had to like let the guy get up first, or maybe this is one of those rules that they changed, but they didn't tell us they changed. Because WWE is known for doing those things. So I was like, wait, can he do that? Because I thought you had to at least be standing, but if you had to be standing before the match started, but I guess not. Um, any thoughts on the main event where Sheamus is your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion? Probably because of that power positivity, that clap therapy. I think might be the reason.
But they abandoned him. So where's the parapositivity if they gonna just abandon him like that? But anyway, um, I agree. I felt like there should have been a little bit more um kind of uh chemistry between the two. Um, I was surprised we did not see a code of honor, like I said in the earlier review, a shake of the hand before the match. I mean, come on now. You guys are friends. You need to, show the respect, shake each other's hand. Come on now. Um, but also, like I said earlier in our other review with Justin, I feel like in big title matches like this, they need to build up the suspense more. Like DJ said, when when Reigns got the pin, it was almost felt like they didn't do enough. It felt like that shouldn't have been the end. Um, but he got the pin, and then as like before that, when they both sat up and they were kind of trading punches, I like that kind of um, it, you know for what they lacked in for what I felt like they lacked in, you know, uh, kind of chemistry. I guess they kind of made up for, and I feel like intensity. I felt like they kind of came into this match just they were gonna just beat the hell out of each other for the title. I felt like they kind of got that across because they were really kind of going at each other, hard hitting kind of match, which I liked. Um, you know, um, Roman wins when Triple H came out. Roman Reigns kind of turned away from the handshake. I almost was waiting for him to rethink it and shake Triple H's hand and join the Authority and kind of have that heel turn that way. Um, Unfortunately, he didn't do that. It ended up Sheamus coming out and cashing in, which was the other thing I thought was going to happen. I kind of expected a cash in. I don't necessarily want Sheamus as the champion. I've never been a huge Sheamus fan, and in his previous title runs, he didn't really impress me. Unless something really changes about this one, I'm not excited. I don't think he'll have the title for very long. I think, Roman Reigns will possibly win it again, or Dean Ambrose or Sami Zayn, or I don't know. But Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose was a good match. And like I said, I expected the cash in. I just don't like that it happened. I don't like that Sheamus is now the champion. I'm just curious to see what they're gonna do now. I I hope they don't do the what they did with which they already technically did what they did with Daniel Bryan. I hope they don't do the you're a B plus player, Roman. You're just blah blah blah. I just don't want to see them do that again. Obviously, I want to see have him kind of fight for the title. I'm not going to give up type of thing. Turn into John Cena basically, is what they're going to have him do. But I felt like they should have had him turn heel tonight. It just they weren't changing anything else about him. He still has the Shield entrance music. He still has basically the same attire. They need to, change something big about him, and I felt like a heel turn would have been something big enough to change, which they didn't. So I'm just waiting to see what they do from here.
Yeah, I agree. I was expecting a heel turn tonight too, in some form or fashion by one of the two. I don't think it would have been Ambrose though, just because he's so over. Whereas Roman Reigns is kind of getting booed at this point, so I feel like it would make sense for them to go ahead and change it. Kind of call an audible with what they want to do with him, because that's kind of what they had to do with New Day too. Instead of throwing the entire idea away, just make it work. The way you got to make it work. Um, but that was Survivor Series. It was a good show. I think it was. A lot of times it's weird to think that a lot of these shows do get kind of thrown together, but they usually do tend to be pretty good. Um, when you go back and look at them. So, I think Survivor Series was pretty good. I agree with you on the whole stage setting thing. Kind of make it feel somewhat different. And I think that's just kind of an underlying theme with a lot of the wrestling companies right now with their pay-per-views. They're just, it's the same thing. There's nothing different about it. But really for WWE, there's no excuse. You have all the money you could ever ask for. So like, there's no real excuse. I mean, if all else fails, just bring back some of the old sets. Like then you won't have to, won't even have to think about it as much. Too much about it. But I want to see what's going to happen with the Sheamus title run, because I think it could be interesting. I guess I could be entertained, as Sheamus would say. Um, but if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, on our respective Twitters, the Instaclass Wrestling Podcast Twitter especially. We will see you guys later. Hope
On
you
the
guys
flippity
enjoy.
dippity.
On the flippity dippity dippity. Um, um, we got Breaking Down coming probably tomorrow. It finally came out tonight, which was weird. I don't know why it took so long to come out. If they were gonna, I don't think they changed anything with it, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if Billy Gunn's on there. Maybe they're trying to act like he doesn't exist either. So I don't know. We'll see you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed.